Hey everyone, welcome back to the Who Wrote It Challenge. I'm Andrew from Passed.AI, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to challenge ourselves against Google Bard. So, what is Google Bard? Well, it's basically Google's ChatGPT alternative. It's based on their own large language model AI. So, under the hood, both products are quite different, but in terms of what you interact with as a user, very similar. They're chat-based interfaces. You give it a prompt and it gives you a response. So theoretically could be used by your students in the same way that they would use ChatGPT. But here's the thing to keep in mind. If an AI detector isn't trained in such a way that it can pick up on Bard content, it's going to miss it and you'll get a false negative. So we wanted to test our tools on Bard content, and we did that by creating an essay. So I'm going to take you over to Bard now and show you how we did that. Okay, so what you're looking at now is Bard's user interface, and like I said, it's a chat-based interface, and what I did was I gave it a series of prompts. This first one is to write an outline for an essay on the themes of madness in the poetry of Edgar Allan Poe, and it was able to do that for me. Gave me some points for an introduction, points for the body, and different and points for the conclusion. So if I'm a student, I can use that as a jumping off point and flesh those out for myself, but I got greedy here today, and what I did was took those points and asked it to write the paragraphs for me. So you can see I'm taking points out of the body here and having Bard fill them out a little bit, all the way down to the conclusion. And then again, as the enterprising student, what I do is I copy and paste all of this content and I put it into a Google document, and that ends up looking something like this. So let's change our perspective here. Now we're an educator and we've received this document. We also have the Google Docs Passed.AI extension installed. And right here in the top right above my head, we see a big red indicator with a score of 0.01. And if you watched our last video, we had a nice green indicator and we said green is good. In this case, red is bad. Red means that there is a very unnatural writing flow in the way that this document was created. And we have a score of 0.01, which is basically as low as you can get. So let's dig into why. The first thing we can do is run an AI scan. So the flow score is just about how the document was assembled from a data perspective. The AI score is going to tell us whether or not any AI content can be detected there. So I'm going to run the scan, and it comes back with a score of 100% confidence that there's AI content in here. So we now know two things. We know there's extremely unnatural writing flow, and our AI detector is very confident that AI content is present. So two big red flags immediately, but sometimes false positives happen, and it's best to double check. So let's go to the audit and check that out. Okay. So we saw 92 actions, and I just want to go back to the document for a second, and let's look at the word count here. We have 1,365, so almost 1,400 words in this document, 92 actions. An action is as simple as typing a letter or deleting a letter, and we know 92 letters does not make 1,400 words. So we know that math doesn't add up, not good. 6 inserts, that's probably going to go a long way in explaining what happened in this document. And the duration that this document took to complete was only 2 minutes. So again, not long enough for 1,400 words. If we go down here, okay, now we can see what the long inserts are, and we're seeing their whole paragraphs at a time. So what do we know about that? Well, we know that this is the content as it is pasted into the document, not necessarily how it appears when the student submits the document to you. You'd be able to compare the differences between how the content entered the document and what the student ended up submitting to you, and you'd be able to make a decision as an educator as to whether or not the student did the work here. In this case, they're exactly the same as the end product, we know the student is passing off work from elsewhere as their own. Not good. But as a last confirmation, let's just look at the replay really quickly. And yeah, okay, so they wrote the title, they wrote their name. Okay, there, and we see the content dumped in really quickly, and the essay is done. So we know a few things. We know that the flow score was as bad as you can get. The AI score could not be more confident that there is AI content in this document. And we watched a replay. We saw the large chunks of text that were pasted into the document. We know the student didn't do the work. In this case, who wrote it? AI wrote it, and Bard, we caught you. So thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this or want to see other examples, definitely like and subscribe to this channel, because we're going to be posting more as we explore other tools and receive challenges from our users. If you're interested in challenging us with a document, head over to our website. There's a big yellow bar at the top of it with a call to action. You can send us your document, and we may feature it in a future Who Wrote It challenge. So thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you soon.